Hi everyone, and welcome to my latest Meerkat Musings. This time we're talking about something a little bit more serious than some of my previous videos. Very obviously, it's the subject of Brexit and the ramifications thereof. Now, I personally voted to remain in the EU, which I feel was the best decision for the country. However, as everyone knows by now, as a country, we voted to leave, and now we find ourselves in the situation of going through the Brexit negotiations. Now, I have serious misgivings as to how the referendum was handled by both sides. I think both sides weren't clear as to the facts and the details, and I think that's part of the reason why we actually voted to leave, because of misinformation. And I have serious misgivings with how the post-Brexit situation will look. I have serious misgivings with how the negotiations are going. I'm not particularly confident in our government to actually handle this process properly. However, it's the situation that we're in. There's not a lot we can do about it at this stage. We just have to go with things and hope it works out for the best. However, that's not really the main focus of this particular video. The main focus here is on the subject of patriotism and how it can sometimes be used as a weapon to attack people who you don't agree with. In this particular case, I've been reading a few interesting, shall we say, comments and words from one particular pundit in The Sun. I forget his name. He was talking about how if you are a Remainer that's still complaining about the fact that we're leaving, then you're being unpatriotic and you need to really get behind Brexit and the whole process. Now, first of all, I voted to remain precisely because I love my country. I voted to remain because I want to see the best possible future for my country and for my daughter. I can appreciate that people who voted to leave did so because they believe it's in our country's best interests. I don't question that. However, for me, remaining was a smart move. I think we traded economic stability for the illusion of greater sovereignty. And I think in the process, we've gone from being a country that could generally have been a leader within the EU to a country with a very uncertain future. And as I said before, I don't hold out much hope in our government's ability to get the best outcome from negotiations, nor to plot a course beyond Brexit, really, to be honest with you. Now, saying these things, saying them, does not mean I'm not a patriot. It doesn't mean that I hate my country, far from it. I say these things and I voice my concerns because I love my country, because I care. And that's what most people who voted Remain are doing when they voice their concerns. At the end of the day, we live in a free country. We are entitled to express our fears and our worries about the Brexit process. And doing so is not unpatriotic, far from it. I think we have a duty to actually speak up about the potential pitfalls of Brexit. If we were keeping quiet and watching the ship sort of sink and doing nothing to stop it, that really would be unpatriotic. That would be the biggest danger of all, which is apathy. No, instead I think we actually have a duty, if you like, to actually be open about our concerns about how this whole process is being handled, about the way the referendum was handled, which, as I said at the start of this video, was flawed, and the vote was based on a lot of misinformation. So for these pundits in papers like The Sun, who for some reason feel the only way to be a patriot is to shut up and, toe the line, as it were. No, that's not actually how patriotism works. And the bid to try and silence the opposition, as it were, through slurring them effectively, is just, it's not really, I don't even know how to describe it. It's petty. That's what it is. It's petty. And unfortunately, in my experience of newspapers like The Sun, all too normal for them to employ such rhetorical tricks. If you voted to leave the EU, then fair enough. You probably did so because you believe it's in the country's best interests, just like I voted Remain for the same reasons. But can we agree that whether we voted to remain or to leave, in both cases we did so because we care about our country's future? Voting Remain is not an unpatriotic act, far from it.